Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. I'm here in Draper, Utah, where LifeWave headquarters is. I'm going to have a group here in a couple days. So fantastic that the Democrats are going to sweep the George, what is it, Virginia, New Jersey, and probably do Proposition 50. I said Proposition 10 the other night, so thank you for everybody who corrected me. But it was Proposition 50, where California, who's expert at, basically changing zones so that more Democrats can get in there, absentee ballots and all that kind of stuff. They've pretty much taken over the state completely, even though 40% of the voters are Republican. So it's crazy. So if you have 40% of voters that vote Republican, and you have like 70% of the state Democrat, there's probably some shady stuff going on, right? So, yep. It's now, why are we going to have this sweep? Because we all know, the most of us that are awake, that are, pretty much taking our consciousness to the next level. What is going on with people that would vote for demon rats? All right, because every state, every city where the Democrats are mostly in control is a complete shithole. They have some of the worst education. The cost of living is over the top. People can't afford it. The people that they've said that they were going to try and help, their Democrat base, they can't even live in the states. They can't even live in the cities where they're at because the cost of living is so high. And gosh, we go on for so much. I mean, the crime, the filth, homelessness in all these cities. Yet people keep voting them in. What is going on? So it's a consciousness problem, obviously. So I've all day long while I was driving here, I was like listening to like housing and all these markets and so forth in the places like Florida, where everybody flew to during the COVID bullshit, basically. Now people are leaving there. Now, will New Yorkers go fill it back up? Will New Yorkers, because it's like, New York has a very high cost of living, although the housing prices are pretty much the same as they were like 20 years ago. That's crazy, right? Yet the rental rate is sky high, right? So that means that younger people are coming into New York and they want free everything. And they think that although they don't believe communism works, they're going to vote for a communist, right? Riddle me that, bad man. How does that make any kind of sense whatsoever? So I guess, the educational system has made our younger folk pretty much clueless, unfortunately. And they don't like old people like me being in positions of power. They want us out. So that's I guess, they don't want the people that have learned through trial and error and see things that don't work and have the experience and so forth. They want new people, right? So they want a Mamdani that has no experience, is a communist, is basically a radical Muslim, in my opinion, who probably shouldn't even be in the United States. So that's what they're going to vote in because he's promised them everything. It would be like me saying, I'm going to hire anyone that wants to work for me, and I'm going to give you $1 million a year, right? You're going to make $1 million a year. Now, I don't have the means to like pay people that much, but I'm just going to say it, and people are going to just come flocking, and then they find out that I can't. I would never do that, of course. But then they're going to find out that I don't have that kind of money. That's what New Yorkers are going to find out, right? They're going to find out that Mamdani doesn't have that kind of money because the people with the money are going to flee New York, and they've said they're going to flee New York. So will they flee New York on the level of COVID-19? Because in COVID-19, it got to the point where people were running for their lives from New York, right? Will people have that same passion to get out of New York with Mamdani coming in? I don't think initially. There's a lot of people talking about it, but we'll see if he starts to implement certain things. Because I know in California, if you were like ultra rich and you left California over the last several years, they still taxed you. It's like, oh, no, we can still tax you for the time that you were here, that you were like a multi-billionaire or millionaire, whatever. We're still going to get some of that. I don't know how they were getting around that, but I think probably smart people came in and they should shut that down. But there was a time where they were doing it. I don't know if they got away with it. Maybe they just said, kind of like Mamdani, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to do it. And then people are like, oh, okay, I'll give you 20% of my wealth because I lived in California for all this time. Yeah, you made that wealth because I was in California government. Yeah. So this taxation thing, I think, is pretty much going out. There's a lot of states now that are talking about doing away with property taxes. Everybody's starting to get clever. They're getting smart, right? They're like, oh, you guys are like abusing that system. So some states like Nevada, where I'm at, although they're not talking about doing away with it yet, I guess the population has to get a little bit more involved and start to push in that direction, because that's how things change. Only by we, the people, pushing it, guys. You don't elect somebody and then they say they're going to do stuff and they don't do it. It's because we don't get involved, right? They can say they're going to do something, like Trump said he wants to look at doing away with the IRS. Did he do it? Maybe he did. But ask the people. I've seen people in the chat said that the IRS came after them, and they were like, oh no, I haven't been paying my taxes because I thought the IRS was gone. And so the IRS came after them. So there are ways to, we talked about that. I had courses on that. I think a lot of people got involved in that, but you have to be clever. You have to understand the system. You can't just wing it, you have to understand how the system is arrayed, aligned. And once you understand that, then you can start to move out of those directions, because all they're doing is just threaten you for the most part. And then they'll come and seize your accounts and all that. Yes, I've been through that. But then we got clever and we started pushing back, and we're like, got help, and we learned how to like work around the system, and we're not in that system anymore. Right. So you can get out of the system. I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing more and more that the system, as it breaks down and it's showing us how corrupt and how broken it is, we're moving, smart people are moving away from it. Now, the people that are NPCs, non-player candidates, that are very much existent out there, guys. NPC is a real thing, right? So they're out there pretty much soulless. They just come in to, I don't know if they're clones or what the heck's going on with them, but they just come in and they're just existent, and they push the rules of the deep state manipulators. I think that's one of the reasons why they're here, because they wanted them here so that they could have a lot of people to protect them and push back on us that are trying to wake up. Right? I'm not trying to. I'm there. I'm trying to help other people to wake up. Right? So that is the situation we're in. So many things are going to continue to push against us. So we see that they have stopped funding everything. It's probably going to be one of the longest, if not the longest, government shutdown in history. I think it's probably going to push all the way to Thanksgiving. And I think if it makes all the way to Thanksgiving, it will be the longest ever. All right. So what does that do for those people that make sure our airlines, fly right? That's why I'm happy to be driving right now, because there's a lot of shutdowns, 4,000 shutdowns across the country today alone. There was a massive plane crash, UPS or something, that crashed in Kentucky. I got some of the links for that. I'll kind of go over that, but just off the top of my head, all this stuff. You have the people that don't have their SNAP coming through. I guess their cards were loaded, so they're living on whatever's left on their SNAP cards, or I don't know if they're being replenished. But supposedly on November 1st, that program ended because there was no more funding for it. Now, some states, like especially New York, which they depend on paying people, like we're having Ma'am Donnie. So Kathy Hochul came in and said that she was going to fund the SNAP payments. There were other states, California, of course, because they have they have welfare states. It's welfare states, and they have 1 in 8 people. Probably in some of these states and some of these cities, there's a lot more than 1 to 8 ratio. Probably closer to 1 to 5 or 1 to 4 or something like that. So people completely depend on that. Now, in my intuitive mind today, it came to me that this was on purpose, to start to take those people out that are abusing that system. Because the only way you can get the abusers out of it is to completely shut it down, and that way you can find them, right? Now, of course, there are some people that legitimately, probably, I don't know, 10, 20% of those people that get that, I don't know, maybe legitimately, need to be getting that. Otherwise, most people can, survive on their own from their own means, or go out and work, right? I saw this one guy that he lost his job and he knew how to play the piano. So he plays the piano in nursing homes. He makes like 50% less than what he was making before, but he's making ends meet. He's paying the bills, getting by. So it's, people do that. When, I was, decided to leave the CIA, right? And they started to destroy my life. It was pretty tough. I was working multiple jobs. I think there was one time I worked 3 months straight every day for 3 months straight, and mostly 10 to 12-hour days. So, you can, make ends meet. You can get by. You can, push into new realities, because that was for me, pushing into a new reality, because my life had been destroyed, had no credit, completely destroyed my credit, had nothing, no savings, no nothing, right? And at one time I was living out of my backpack, walking Pacific Crest Trail, and I barely had enough to do that. So I fought my way back, and now I'm semi-successful, right? Whatever that means. All right. But I learned how to pay cash with it for everything. All right. And I don't owe anything, because I couldn't buy anything on credit. Right. So it taught me, and I'd always wanted to do that. And I guess be careful what you wish for. But in this case, it actually worked out pretty good. So I learned a lot from that. It was a difficult time frame, for me and my family, but we worked it out. So and since then we've had some incredible times together, and now I'm involved in helping other people wake up to this incredibly corrupt system. I learned the hard way, and I don't want other people to learn the hard way, right? But many of you have, and that's why you're probably listening, because you're like, we're all one big happy group together. We've been abused, and we are like, okay, this is how we help people, and this is how we won't, buddy up to this system anymore. So the system's collapsing. So imagine that system is not paying them. So how many of those people that are getting those SNAP payments are Democrats, right? And we know that the Democrat system has to completely go away, or it can just go over there and do its own thing in those cities, and we can wall those cities up, and people have to have a special pass to come out. All right. And that's the only way they're going to come out. Escape from New York? No, there will be no escape, right? We will completely wall it off, burn the bridges down. We won't wall them up. We'll burn them down. We'll flood the tunnels, and no one gets out. No flights going in, no flights coming out, right? So that'll never happen, of course, but that's the way it should be, all right? Because these people they have to learn the hard way, you know? They tried to kill us, guys. They tried to kill us during COVID. And I have compassion for them, but I have no sympathy for them. I have compassion for their stupidity and their inability to think correctly, their inability to do critical thinking, their inability to have compassion for others, empathy for others. They're like reptilians, you know, no empathy, right? So it is getting past the time that these people can be helped. All right, we've talked about that, and you know they're building their nest. Their nest. There's nothing in their nest. There's no one going to feed them in their nest. There's no one going to bring them food in their nest. And the little birds are going to try and fly, and they're going to like crash, right? And then they're going to walk around. Where's my mother? Right? So it's sad. It's sad, but that's the way it's going to be. All right. So we have a lot of stuff going on. The Earth itself is rising in consciousness, right? As it grows, it literally has been growing. That's why the continents have been separating. The Earth actually grows, just like our consciousness is growing. All right. So the Earth, as it grows, in relation to the sun and the energy from the sun, that's kicking off all kinds of energy at the Earth right now. There's going to be changes, and these changes will be earthquake related, tsunami, volcanic, and so forth.
And they're launching a very fast coronal mass ejection with a 1.1x class flare. And let's see if we can time this. It's going to be, we almost got it. Let's switch over to our SUVI imagery to capture that. This is our past 3 hours, gets it a bit more cleanly. And here, this is our chronograph imagery. We can switch to our SUVI imagery. We'll go back to what I'm showing you right now. Here we have our SUVI imagery, and this shows us our latest 1.1 X class flare right there from the limb. Now, keep in mind that this is still slightly behind the limb of the sun. So the eastern limb, it's solar.
All right, these solar flares have been like really kicking on the other side, and they're starting to rotate towards us. And it's on the ecliptic plane where these massive solar flares have been kicking off for the last several days. And now it's starting to rotate towards us. Every time this happens over the last this year so far, of course, we still have a couple months left. This year so far is the 6th most active earthquake, tsunami, and volcanic time in Earth's history since we've been taking records, right? So I think we got a lot more coming, and a lot of people are saying the same thing as I am, that we're getting close to something very, very significant happening that's going to cause the world to go, oh, no. And there's going to be compassion for a very large group of people, I would say probably in the millions, right? Where that happens remains to be seen. Now, when it does happen, if it does happen in the next couple months, the next days, weeks, whatever, does that mean that's going to be it? No, it's going to continually increase into next year as well, right? And this is what I've been seeing. This is what I'm predicting. It's consciousness. The consciousness, our consciousness is growing. The Earth's consciousness is growing, like I'm saying, and the NPCs and the people that can't think for themselves and think they're smarter than those of us that have been around for a while, they're going to find out, right? They're going to find out the hard way, unfortunately. So, and probably they'll get pushed into their own little zones where they can experience their wanted trauma and drama and fear and anger, right? So that's what's coming for them.
System. So this is the east side of the sun. This is the west side of the sun. This is slightly behind that, meaning that a lot of that light energy actually got blocked by the sun itself that's still in front of that region. So this is likely a stronger flare than this one because this looks really high velocity. I mean, it's just really, really, really rapid. It's happening right now. We are in this right now. So the point of today's video, what we're going to discuss today is the risk that technology has as it relates to the sun, because
okay, the risk that technology has in relation to the sun, basically, a lot of us have been seeing it. We've been seeing some problems with the internet, with our, our electronic equipment and so forth. This is because the sun is really kicking, guys, and it's going to continue to increase. And we may be getting hit in the next few days with some significant activity, because, like I said, every 29 days, and we're coming up on that period. Now, what else is happening in the next couple days? Well, tomorrow we have the Beaver Moon. So the Beaver Moon is going to be the closest that it has been since 2019. The full Beaver Moon tomorrow, Wednesday, is the second of 3 consecutive supermoons and will appear larger and brighter than most, of course, depending on your cloud cover. And let's see, Wednesday's full moon will be the brightest and biggest supermoon since 2019, coming within just 222,000 miles from Earth. All right, so it's going to look massive. And we also have Mercury aligning with the sun and the moon and Earth. And further out, we have Uranus that's aligning as well tomorrow. Your anus, not my anus, right? Get that straight, right? All right, so we're going to also see probably, like I said, some massive earthquake activity. This is the one I've been saying for a while that I felt very strongly was going to happen. The other one that I feel is going to happen, although it's not strong right now, I do feel it's coming, is the tsunami off the west coast of Oregon. All right, let's listen to this one.
Data doesn't lie, and what it shows is terrifying. Beneath Naples, Italy, the ground has been quietly rising for 20 years. But in the past week, something changed. Small earthquakes began clustering beneath Campi Flegrei, each one a whisper from a sleeping giant. Scientists just discovered why, and what they found could rewrite everything we know about volcanic risk in one of Europe's most populated regions. November 2nd, 2025. 3:51 p.m. local time. A magnitude 2.1 earthquake strikes 2.8 kilometers beneath the ancient town of Pozzuoli, Italy. To most residents, it feels like a heavy truck passing by. But to the scientists monitoring every tremor through Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, this earthquake carries a different message. 35 minutes later, another one. Same depth, same location. Magnitude 2.0, then again at 4:26 p.m. By the end of the weekend, 5 earthquakes had struck the exact same spot. A precision that doesn't happen by accident in nature. Each tremor was recorded by a network of seismometers so sensitive they can detect vibrations. Smallest tremor to the largest magnitude 4.0 events followed this hidden pattern. Dr. D'Agostino puts it simply, we're watching the caldera prepare itself. The question is, for what? The data shows something else that makes scientists pause. Since 2005, the ground has risen 144 centimeters, nearly 5 feet of slope.
So it's filling up, guys. It's filling up. And it's going to blow. It's going to blow. All right. And when it blows, there's like around 5 million, over 5 million people just in that area alone. It's going to be traumatic. And it's a possibility that that volcano, if it blows and it blows big, it could cause a darkness all around the world from the volcanic ash that it emits. So just be heads up. We're moving into these very radical zones of Earth change. They've happened before in the past, and we're moving into a very significant cycle where we've had crustal movement. We've had the poles shifting, wandering poles. They've gathered speed over the last several years, and they're really moving very quickly. Will it be a pole reversal? I don't think so, but it's going to probably move quite significantly. And that's what a lot of people have been saying that are very expert at this. So catastrophism was something that the Earth has always gone through, and everybody accepted until, I guess the last century, where they started to manipulate that information. And I guess they wanted to control us because they knew there was going to be another cataclysmic event coming up, which we're moving into. And maybe that's part of the consciousness shift, what we're talking about. So all the people that want Mamdani for, mayor, and Virginia to go blue, and New Jersey to go blue, and California to go completely blue, and make the Congress completely blue, they're going to get it. They're going to probably get it, and let them have it. Let them have it. Let it break. Let it be destroyed. We picked up the pieces before in the past. I can live quite comfortably without all of this. And I think that's one of the things that we're learning, that, hey, how long has the government been shut down? And things have actually been working better. All right. So do we really need this government? Hell no. Right. It needs to go bye-bye. And so some people are want that. They're going to continue to live that. So anyway, UPS cargo plane crashes on takeoff from Louisville, Kentucky airport, igniting a huge fire. The Federal Aviation Administration said the plane crashed at about 5:15 p.m. It was taking off for Honolulu. So it took off from Louisville, Muhammad Ali International Airport. So we have, is it related to, the people that aren't being paid? Is that why? And if it is, are they going to tell us that? So more than 5,000 flights traveling from and to U.S. airports were delayed on Sunday alone. So that wasn't today, but it was Sunday alone. I don't know what it is today, but the weekend saw the most difficult travel conditions yet at dozens of American airports amid the shutdown, with lines of frustrated travelers appeared endless. More than 5,000 flights traveling from the blah, blah, blah. All right. It said it screened nearly, the TSA, Transportation Security Administration, said it screened nearly 2.7 million people around the country. As the shutdown drags on, more delays and cancellations can be expected, according to the Transportation Secretary. All right, for me, driving 7 hours, when I look at, driving to an airport, leave my car there, the cost of leaving my car there, and then get on a plane that doesn't leave when it's supposed to, going through all the radiation that I got to go through, and then flying on these planes, they get delayed and they get diverted and all kind of crazy shit. And then I, land another place. I got to get a rental car and pay for that, and it's worth it sometimes just to drive, guys. And even though it's a long drive, there are places where I can go. There's 80-mile-an-hour highway where I'm at, and so I can kick it, and I get to where I need to go pretty quick. So I would really think about traveling over the next weeks or so. So they talk about disappointing. Duffy said he wants them to return to work because a lot of people, just air traffic controllers, aren't showing up at work. They're essential personnel, but they're not getting paid, so they're not even coming to work. So he says, so I guess they're not going to get back pay, right? So it doesn't make sense to me. If you need the money and you stay home because you're not getting the money, you're not going to get the money when the money does come in. So it's like a double stupid, right? So anyway, Duffy said he wants them to return to work, adding that those who do not will receive a disappointing paycheck at the end of the week. Duh. None of them can miss 2 paychecks, Duffy said on CNBC's Squawk Box on Monday. They all start. Their home finances fall apart. So you're going to start to see, we're already starting to see, a massive problem with people paying, I guess car loans are like, the worst ever. People not paying their car loans, the highest default rate on credit cards. Mortgages are starting to be defaulted. That hasn't even started to hit the news yet, because under the Biden administration, they had a law where banks and mortgage companies and so forth could not repossess. And now that came off last month. So those numbers, because the government shut down, we're not seeing what those numbers are. But I promise you, they're pretty significant. Right. So we went through years of people not having not paying for their mortgages. So the banks finally got the okay, you can go get that house, and now they're getting those houses, and it's not even close to what those houses were worth a couple of years ago. And then of course a lot of people, when they know they're going to be foreclosed on, they destroy the house that they were living in. I've seen that a lot. When I was looking at homes, I was like, okay, this is as is. This was someone that was losing their house, and so they flooded it and broke stuff up and left. It's like pretty sad. So anyway, it is what it is, and we're going to have a problem with 2,000 to 3,000 controllers. Air traffic controllers are not showing up for work. So be careful out there if you're traveling. I'm trying to put more air traffic controllers into the system, he said. On Monday evening, more than 2,885 flights traveling within to and out of U.S. airports were delayed. So, of course, not as many people traveling. So that's still very significant during a Monday. So, of course, the weekend, most people travel during the weekend. So you got 5,000 flights are shut down, are delayed. That's a lot. But on a weekday, you have almost 3,000. That's a massive number again, right? So this is not going to slow down. So something has to shift. Something has to change. Now, remember when Ronald Reagan was president, the air traffic controllers they're all a union, and they were like, we want more money. And he's like, you're making too much as it is. And they're like, we're not going to come to work. And he said, okay, screw you guys. And then he started hiring people. He's like firing them all, and then started hiring, independent people. So that's what we have now. And these people are deciding not to come to work because they're not getting paid. When the paycheck's going to come eventually. So when it does come, you're definitely not going to get paid. So if you're not going to pay your credit cards, you're not going to pay your mortgage, you're not going to pay your car loan. So we're going to see lots of stuff start to default because of this stuff, right? It just starts to add up, and it's going to continue. Some of these people, I guess maybe in some of these air traffic control rooms are like, we can do it without those people. So we're doing it without those people. Yeah, if we bring some of them back, we won't have any more delays, but we don't need them all. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah. So we're finding out, these Democrats have all these people that, they brought in, and they pay them all these ridiculous amounts of money. And we're finding out that, we don't even need them. We don't even need Congress. We don't need the Senate because they haven't passed any bills, really. They haven't appointed people that President Trump needed appointed. So I say just bring the military in, and let's start doing the military tribunals, right? The military can do the work, right? Bring them all back from all those bases where they don't do anything out there anyway, right? And they're just manipulating, controlling other countries, and the other country be like, oh, please, yes. Japan, they would love all those bases shut down. They're always demonstrating against the the bases. And why are we still there in Japan? Why are we still in South Korea? All right. So a lot of these bases definitely need to close, and those military personnel come back. And, you know, they have very good work ethic and leadership skills and so forth. They can take over a lot of these positions, right? And all of those Democrats that don't want to work, they want everything given to them, they can figure that out, right? And then the places where we need that are outside these cities that we're going to wall up and keep those people in there, so everything's going to thrive. And they'll be like, well, Ma'am Donnie, I thought it was going to be so much better. We're going to have free everything, free rent, free health care. You're going to like make prostitution legal, so we can just have sex all day long, you know, and you're going to pay us, right? So we can pay for that. And so what happened? We don't have the money anymore for sex, and we don't, and the apartments are like falling apart. No one's fixing them. Wow. You're going to find out, right? It's sometimes you do stupid, you find out, right? It's going to be that way for a lot of these young people. And when I say young people, I'm talking about people all the way up to 50. Right? To me, that's young. All right. So when I was 50, I was smart. Right. And you're like, well, you work for the CIA, you weren't that smart. Yeah, okay, you're right. But the CIA that I worked for was good. All right. Red Eagle politics. This guy, his prediction, I followed him for a long time. He's spot on. So he does really good research, and he said that Trump was not going to be elected in 2020, and he said Trump was going to be elected in 2024. So, and a lot of other races that he called that I followed him on, he was accurate. It's kind of like me saying, okay, all I need to do is like start to look at all of the little crazy stuff they do in these football games, and I'll tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl. I did that in the past, and I showed you guys, and I said, this is who's going to be the MVP, and this is who's going to win the game. And I went through a bunch of money on it, and I said, I put my money where my mouth is, and I won big. And everybody's like, you were right. They do rig the games. And I was like, okay, that's the last time. I'm not doing this anymore, right? And of course, there's still people believe the games are not rigged. Believe the games are, you know, it's like, it's legit. Go ahead. Watch the games, all right? It's okay. I can't help you not be stupid, right? So Red Eagle politics. Let's see if he's live. No, he's not like that. So he's going to do New Jersey, VA, New York City, and more. Probably Prop 50, right? 50. I got it now, guys. Thanks. Don't get angry. Some of those comments are like, it's Prop 50, not 10. It's like, that's what it sounds like when I look at it, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So, sorry, you know, okay. But whatever that prop is in California, where those demon rats are going to, like, you know, pass a law that's basically going to kick out the rest of the Republicans. There's going to be no Republicans left in office. So move out of California like I did, guys. It's not that hard. In fact, I love it. I love California, but I've loved not being in California even more. So it's not that hard. So get out. All right. So quit giving your money to California. All right. So now I'm going to Lewis Herms. Lewis Herms has an event. So I do this event, and then I'm going to be like that one song. I've been driving on that man, wet on the wheel. So, you know, what was that group? Eagles, Golden Eagles, something like that. So that's the way I'm going to be. Lewis, yes, Lewis. move out of California and New York. There's lots of great places. There's Tennessee. So Tennessee, Radar Love. That's right. Radar Love. Golden Earring. There you go. All right. There you go. Who was that? Lojo. Lojo, you win. Good job. All right. Your music history stuff is awesome. Right. So the election, guys, I don't think it's going to go Republicans. A lot of us have said there's no way Democrats are going to win unless they rig it. And maybe they're not going to rig it. Maybe there are just people that believe that the Democrats are good, obviously, because they're going to vote. I said it for a long time. Some of you says there's no way, and I've seen a lot of people come on and talk about it. People in the podcast community and so forth. They're like, "Man, Donnie, he's like he's got all this." And he does. He has a lot of there's a lot of stuff against him. He may get in office and they'll like arrest him or something. It's bad. But I mean, look at Hillary Clinton. Did she get arrested? No. So she was from New York, right? No, she was from Arkansas. Yeah. And then she went to New York after she killed John F. Kennedy Jr. Or she didn't kill him, but her group did, of course. And they didn't kill him because they knew they were going to take the plane down. So they put some bodies on there. And it's like, oh yeah, that was them. No, it wasn't them. So he's out there somewhere. I remember Robert David Steele. I used to talk to him. He used to be CIA and a Marine officer. So we connected because I was CIA and Navy SEAL. So we'd had some great conversations. Even in this YouTube channel, which basically got shut down for like 4 years, right? I was like, can I have the channel back? And they're like, yeah. I was like, really? So a lot of people, Charlie Kirk's back, Nicholas Vinny-Ammon's back. And I was like, Nicholas had like 150 subscribers on his channel. On mine, I had to like 69 because I'd get up to like 100, 150, 250, and it got to the point where I'd say something and they wouldn't give me a warning anymore. They just take my whole channel down. They're like, and you can't come back now. Right? So, okay, I'll go to the Rumble with all the other people that, don't have channels anymore. And so I still have the Rumble as a backup. I even started my own channel for a while. And then once I got YouTube, I'm like, well, I guess I don't need this channel anymore. So I moved over to YouTube. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to start the channel again. You never know. All of those, demon rats will come in and just start taking over again, and they'll shut down the free speech. It's borderline free speech as it is. It's been that way for a long time, but we'll see. Radar Love. And the guy that used to sing that, I remember he'd go up where the drummer was. He'd be on this elevated stage, and he would jump, fly through the air and land on. It's like, dang, dude, that's crazy. The performances back then were amazing, right? I love the groups back then. I remember Ted Nugent. I think it was saw him in San Diego. I think it was 19 or 20, something crazy. And he was at Jack Murphy Stadium, or not Jack Murphy. It was a dome stadium. Anyway, he's inside. He's he's got wire. He's wired, and he's playing he's crazy rocker, and he's going out over the audience, and on wire. He's unbelievable back then. They really they went all out to perform. And who knows, maybe Ted Nugent will be the governor of Michigan or something. Is he running for Michigan, Minnesota, whatever, one of those states. So what was the one? What was that song that he was playing when he was out there? Cat scratch fever. Yeah, cat scratch fever. Kitty scratch fever. Kitty scratch. Where are you going with that? So Michigan. Thank you, Gazelle. So Stranglehold. Yeah, Stranglehold. That's a good one. Oh yeah, good memories. You got me in a stranglehold, baby. So yeah, there's good performance, and he's still rocking it. He can still rock it. I saw him on Nino. He used to go on Nino's show, and he'd play on Nino's show. It was like, dang, that's some badass stuff. Yeah, sing it. I mean, all of us can sing. I can't sing like those guys, but I've been around them enough to maybe I could wing it. All right. But other things we got going on is that Proposition 50. The California voters to weigh in on redistricting measure. So again, you have a lot of Republicans there. I've heard people say there's more Republicans than Democrats. I don't know about that, but how do the Democrats keep winning? Cheating? Yeah, probably. But anyway, so California and Texas are just two states that have been at the center of the contentious battle for control of the House in 2026. As more states across the country, there's more states are trying to redistrict and come up with more Republicans. So California wants to take the lead and really hammer it. They've been doing it for like decades. So anyway, so you look at Democrats, they've been redrawing their congressional districts, for decades to bolster their party's power in Washington. Republicans never did it. Now Republicans are doing it, and Democrats are outraged. Like, how dare you cheat like we've been cheating for decades? And so it's crazy. Former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's against the measure. Well, that should be good then, Arnold. Let's get a workout together in Muscle Beach, and maybe we can motivate everybody to not vote for Prop 50. Me and you, shirtless. Let's do it. All right. So tens of millions of dollars have been poured into the contest from both sides of the aisle, as Newsom aims to frame the battle as a fight to save democracy from Trump. I guess his wife was out. I didn't listen to it because I don't want to listen to stupid. But I saw her posturing, and I saw the headlines. She was like, Trump hating. And I was like, and you were like, backing up your husband, Gavin Newsom, being gone for 2 weeks, disappeared for 2 weeks. Where was he? Was he being cloned? So, yes, cloning's real. I mean, just look at Gavin Newsom. There's a good example for you, right? There's many of them. A lot of these artists, the artists, they're like, I don't want to sing that devil music anymore. Bring in the clone, right? There you go. All right. Sing or die. All right. So I think probably half of Hollywood and half of music industry is cloned. Jeez, maybe even more. It's crazy. All right. So here's the type of person that is voting in New York. Let's see. What does she have to say?
Mamdani.
Okay. Can you tell us why?
I'm just looking for someone new and not part of the established Democratic Party who also hasn't been accused of sexual assault.
I spoke to the other side a little bit, and they're concerned about like the government-run grocery stores and the free buses. What's your response to that?
I think government in the U.S. is great in the sense that there's always balance, right? Like no one person is making all the decisions. And so I think there'll be balance within.
He describes himself as a Democrat socialist. Like, do you feel like socialism would work in New York City?
No, not necessarily. I voted for Mamdani.
Okay. Can you tell us why?
I'm just looking for someone new and not.
Just looking for somebody new, right? That's not been accused of sexual assault, right? Yeah, those Muslims. If you looked into the Muslim community, Guess not. All right. You're going to be wearing the burqa. Yeah, you're going to be wearing a burqa in New York here pretty soon. And you won't have any rights. You won't have any rights. And you're going to get beat, and it's going to be okay. And you're going to be raped. It's okay. If you get out of line, you'll get burned. Right. So when I was in Afghanistan and Herat was where Alexander the Great, there was still a fort there from Alexander the Great's time. So, the Silk Road was through there. And so it's pretty amazing. Roman baths, mosques and minarets from, they were 1,000 years old in Herat. Amazing city. And they, the men of Herat, I would talk to them. They're good men. And the women were great. As long as you could see the women, as long as they were in their walled homes. So all the homes are walled. So Afghanistan, right? Just like very leftist, very communist-like. And so the Democrats don't like walls unless it's for their own homes. Like Nancy Pelosi's home. Remember how that guy, came in and got over the wall and broke through the door from the inside out or something. I don't forget how it worked, but it's like her gay husband was having affairs and they went bad or something. So anyway, these people like walls for themselves, but not for you and me, right? So anyway, in Afghanistan, we would, go in security details while very high level meetings were going on. We go into these beautiful homes, courtyards, absolutely beautiful. And the homes themselves were beautiful. And the women were not burqa'd up. And they were nice. They brought us food and everything. Everybody was like loving and happy. But those women went outside. That burqa was on. That burqa was on, and there was a man with her. A woman walking alone is a whore, right? So, and a woman walking without a burqa is a whore, right? So, New York, right? London's almost like that. So it's, we haven't learned, we don't pay attention to what's going on in the world, I guess, right? You New Yorkers, you just want change, and you don't want somebody that's been convicted, illegally convicted, and was wrong, all right? But that's okay. It's lawfare. You don't believe in lawfare. You really believe he was like convicted. Okay, I got you. All right, so good. Ma'am Donnie's going to be really good for you, right? And we're going to wall the city up, and we're going to flood the tunnels and have fun with that, right? Have fun with those burqas. See ya. Bye. All righty. So it's a giant scam. Giant scam. That's what Newsom's doing. That's what President Trump said, right? Here we go. Giant scam. Trump warns Gavin Newsom's redistricting under very serious legal and criminal review. All right. All right. So I don't know. It doesn't really seem to me like the judicial system is actually working for the good side. How about you guys? All right. Anybody? Yep, crickets. So Gavin Newsom, an ardent opponent of President Trump, and remember in his President Trump's last term where California was burning like crazy, and he came in and says, you guys need to clean the forest. Because I walk through those forests, and I'm like, there's no one like, clearing the deadfall. This place is just going to burn, and it would burn behind me. It would burn in front of me, and I would be praying, please rain come, and rain would come, and I was protected, and it was good. But it was hit or miss, guys. It was a mess out there in the Pacific Crest Trail. I was there like almost 8, I guess about 8, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 9 years ago. It was a mess back then. I can't imagine what it's like now. So yeah, California is the land of not so smart, right? California's redistricting by law is supposed to be done by a nonpartisan committee, but Newsom's plan would have voters authorize a bypass so Democrats could gerrymander even further, a process that already has been used for years. But President Trump is pointing out a potential problem, and he's promising more information to come. The unconstitutional redistricting vote in California is a giant scam, in that the entire process, and particularly the voting itself, is rigged. All mail-in ballots, where the Republicans in that state are shut out, is under very serious legal and criminal review. Stay tuned. All right. Words. All right, words. All right. So that's even though Republicans vote. So let's see, where does it say that? Democrats in California, report said, already have used ballot harvesting, drop boxes, mail-in ballots without chain of custody, and questionable ballot curing to take 43 congressional seats, previously leaving the GOP only 9, even though Republican vote totals in the state routinely garner 40% of the vote, right? So that makes sense to me, that if you have a voting class that has 40% of the vote, they only have like 20% of representation, if that, right? That makes sense to me. No. The Gettys run a chunk of California. In a positive way, or not so much, right? If they're running a chunk of it, it sounds like it's probably not a positive way. So J. Paul Getty, rich billionaire, right? 1 million New Yorkers say they will flee New York City if Ma'am Donnie wins today's mayoral race. Really? Why don't you just go out and vote to not have him come in office? Right? So there's that many of you. Maybe it's that 1 million that is Republican or something. I don't know. Republican and independent. And then the other 1.5 million are all Democrats. So, oh well. Now, in a move to basically try and just crash the whole system, so that Democrats wouldn't know which way to go, it was a try. Trump said that people should vote for Cuomo. Democrats should, or everybody should vote for Cuomo, because he's the guy that knows stuff. He has a lot of baggage, though. I wouldn't vote for the guy. Now, I wouldn't vote for Ma'am Donnie either, and I wouldn't vote for Silva either. So I just leave. I just leave New York. But some of you have to learn the hard way, I guess. Expectations for the city under Ma'am Donnie skew negative. 47% foresee more crime and violence. Wow, more? Right? You guys are like, just how can it get any worse? Well, I guess if Ma'am Donnie comes in, you guys think it will be. 43% expect fewer businesses. So how are you going to pay for all the free stuff? 39% think the terrorism risk will worsen. And 45% predict anti-Semitism will increase. Housing affordability is his one strong point, with 39% believing it will improve. Ma'am Donnie proposes free childcare, rent freezes, public grocery stores. Wow. That's like communist Russia. Remember, some of you haven't been around as long as some of us have. That's why we need to be voted in. But I remember when there were long lines at Russian communist stores, right? And they'd only get a little bit of bread. Everyone only got so much because it's communism. So everybody has to share what's left, right? So it got smaller and smaller and smaller, and there were long lines, and then some people didn't get fed at all. So now eventually communism broke in the Soviet Union, obviously, and that was one of the reasons why, because people were starving. And I don't know, maybe that's what the freezing, the SNAP payments will do, because all those communists that are in those Democrat cities that rely on that, they'll starve and they'll riot and they'll destroy those cities. And then it was like, okay, I don't want to say that it's problem, reaction, solution type thing, but maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's flipped. Maybe it's flipped on them. Mamdani proposes all that stuff. So Trump is like, vote for Andrew Cuomo. Right? What did he do bad? He put, he pushed the COVID so much, so hard, and killed so many seniors by putting infected seniors into, seniors that had no protection, have low, low capability of, their systems protecting themselves anymore. Put all those people back and killed thousands of seniors, right? And should be in jail for, really should be executed for that, in my opinion. But he's out there running for mayor, and Trump is like, he's the worst of the evil. He's like the less of the evils, right, or something. So he's like promoting Andrew Cuomo. That's like, talk about bottom of the barrel. It's like not bottom of the barrel. It's like going into the sewage treatment plant and getting the bottom of the sewage treatment plant. Cuomo, God. All right. So anyway, people are saying they're going to fly. So who are these people? So all of these people, so the red is they're definitely going to leave. So it looks like maybe, 15% are definitely going to leave. That's all. That's everybody. But you look at men, more men will consider leaving and will leave. So almost 20% of men. Women, not as much, right? 18 to 29, not as much. 30 to 39, not as much. 40 to 49, not as much. Now, when you start to get to the people that have worked their whole lives, like me, getting knocked down, getting back up, getting knocked down, getting back up, and they've got a little something now. And now Mamdani wants to come and take that little something. They're like, So a lot of those people are like, F you. Big middle finger for you, right? And 65 plus, pretty much the same thing. So the people that make the money, I think I saw somewhere there's a lot of millionaires in New York. I think it was like 350,000. I don't know how many there is. There's a lot. And they're going to get taxed. They're going to get the heck tax out of them. They're already taxed. They're supporting the system, mainly those millionaires. And those millionaires and Wall Street and all that, they're going to move to Texas, right? Wall Street, there's not going to be Wall Street in Wall Street. You know where Wall Street comes from? Is back during the Civil War, where the radicals were, they didn't, I guess they put up a wall down by the where's the port or whatever. So where Statue of Liberty is out there, and there's a little area where there's beach or whatever. It's public property, whatever. But they put up a wall there, and Union soldiers came out, and the locals basically fought because what do they want? They wanted to be able to ship down to the Confederates because they made a lot of money shipping down to the Confederates. And the Union was like, no, you're not gonna ship down there anymore. Kind of like what we're going to do. We're just going to close off New York. We're not going to ship, you're not going to ship there to New York anymore. We're just going to wall it off. It's going to be a new Wall Street. It's going to be for different reasons. So anyway, that's where Wall Street came from. And all those people are probably going to leave and go to Texas and create a new exchange in Texas. I don't know. People have been talking about that. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's what's going to happen. People are just going to flee. They have the money. And New York is just going to crumble, and they won't know why. It's like, well, what happened? You said, right? Kind of like Trump. You said. Now, I would say Trump has probably done more than any other president. I think he's the best president ever, but still, there's a lot of stuff that he said and hasn't been done, right? And that could be timing. It could be there's just too much to push back on. And it was part of disinformation and all kind of crazy stuff. You should listen to my show with Ole Demigard. Oh my God, he's not a fan, right? And he's like, if you lie to me, which Trump has lied quite a bit about a lot of stuff, and he's like, if you lie to me, then I don't support you, right? And so we know that President Trump has lied to us quite a bit, but when we look back on it, it's like, yeah, it's probably had to do it that way, you know. So I don't know, but things aren't really going so well. And if all these races go Democrat, it's not a good sign for 2026. And then if we have the same situation like we did with the rhinos that basically made sure that Trump didn't get the full office, and even when Trump, like right now, Trump, president, Congress, and Senate, like he did in his first term, how much is he getting done? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It was a lot worse, I think, because we had massive numbers of rhinos, Republican in name only, and a lot of them like were openly anti-Trump and so forth, and basically sabotaged. They didn't help him, didn't help the GOP. So the GOP lost a lot of seats, and then of course Nancy Pelosi gets in charge, and they impeach Trump twice, and you know, so we could be moving into that situation again. It's not looking so good. So again, I've said this over and over again, and we've heard this over and over again from other people. Military is the only way, right? The military is the only way. I don't know what's going to kick it off, but if we get the military in, we start the military tribunals, we take over the cities, and we start cleaning out the cities with all the drug trafficking, with all the criminals and the gangs and the, Venezuelan mobs and Mexican mobs and so forth, and replace them with just American mobs. I don't know. Then it'll be a lot better, right? So I heard Pelosi retired from government, and I've been verified. So she's not going for re-election. I don't think she's retired yet, but she's not doing re-election. And then there's some rhinos that are not doing re-election. Clean out the swamp. You know, how long have we heard that? Heard it last term. Did it happen? Maybe a little bit. Yep. But there's who's going to be now. This is interesting. So Ole looks at things, and the first show that I ever did with Ole was January 5th, 2021. And he said, tomorrow you will have a false flag. He said and he showed me all the different things, that have been happening all the way to Nashville where that one RV blew up. And he said this, and you see this sign, you see this thing that was on the news, and you see this and this and this. Tomorrow there's going to be a false flag. And I was like, oh dang, I kind of feel that. So from that budded a long term. I've done many shows with Ole over the years, and he has basically taught us how to look at stuff. Now his thoughts are that Erica Kirk is going to be a vice president, right? Who's that going to be with, right? And so he's basically lining it all up. See this, see that, and see this, see that. And of course, she's in mourning because she's wearing black leather. Black leather. Yes, she's in mourning. Right. And is that really her? I don't think that's her. There's a couple, 2 or 3 different Charlie Kirks, and there's a couple, 2 or 3 Erica Kirks. So with JD Vance and Erica Kirk, I get them all confused. Are they going to be the next president, vice president? Is it being lined up already? Right. According to Ole, it's already been lined up. And so, wow. So you can't trust the system. Can't trust the system, guys. No matter who's in it, I don't trust any of them. I know the system's rigged. I know the system's broken. Some people are going to get in there, maybe try and fix it. And maybe they're just facade. Look at the hand. Look at the hand. Look at the hand. Boom. It's just a facade. A lot of this stuff, and you don't know what to trust anymore because there's so much disinformation and there's so much BS that's out there. We already know there's like 3 or 4 Trumps. All right. So which Trump is the one that we trust, or do we trust any of them? Right. So is it all is all a game? It's all a movie. Yes. I've heard a lot of people have really good ideas and opinions, and I follow them for a while, and then they never work out and they turn out to be wrong. Right. So, I mean, we've seen that for a long time. It can only be military. Where's the military? Right. We keep saying this. Right. President Trump pushed the vaccination, and they were like, well, he pushed the vaccination because they were going to bring in the bad stuff, but he kept pushing the vaccination well after he left office, when the bad stuff was known to be out there. And supposedly he just recently got vaccinated with the booster and the flu shot. So didn't RFK Jr. hasn't he been talking about, we're not doing vaccinations anymore, they're bad, and then he goes and gets them. So there's a lot of disinformation out there. There's lies. There's, rumors of lies. There's real lies. There's damn lies, and there's everything in between. Right. So you have to be flexible in your thinking. You can't get emotional with it. Right. You see me getting emotional? See me getting emotional? No, I don't get emotional. It's like I just laugh. It's, you guys. You stole all the elections on November 4th, 2025. You stole them all. Right? You guys lie. You said the Democrats were all done. Said the Democrats were all done. They were like finished. They wouldn't even be able to cheat anymore because everybody knew. All the Democrats were like going Republicans. Thousands of Democrats are going Republican, and that could be happening. It could be real. I think it's possible. But why do they keep winning? I thought we were going to put in an emergency, thing where the election is fraudulent. So we're coming in emergency declaration, and we're going to come in and fix it. Voting same day, blah, blah, blah. And voting same day is stupid. That's already been proven. Maricopa County, remember all those voting machines? We told everybody, go the day of, because they're going to take your mail-in ballots and they're going to like screw them up. And so everybody went on day of, and they broke all the machines. And then half the people didn't vote. And then those that did, they took all their ballots because they were like all screwed up. And they took them out of custody, and they took them to a warehouse that's run by a Democrat, someone that likes Democrats, right? A Democrat operative. And he took those ballots in out of those ballots that came from that Republican area, Maricopa County. Just Democrats won. Katie Hobbs, yeah. Katie, good job, Katie. You're like Joe Biden. You never came out and did a press conference or anything. You just because you knew you were going to win, like Joe Biden knew he was going to win, right? So that's the way this game still is being played. It's complete bullshit, and nothing's being done, right? So I have faith that things are going to work out right, and they always do for me. Right? Even though it gets really shitty sometimes, I still have a lot of faith, and it does work out for me eventually. So I hope it doesn't get shitty again. I think I've paid my dues at this point. Can I just have a happy life from now on? Can I have a happy life for all the people that are around me too? Is that too much to ask for as well? I'm hearing I can't help stupid people, right? Understandable. And I won't hold you to that. All right. Okay, guys, lots of love. Stay in the love vibration. Critical thinking, very, very important. Don't get emotional. Stay in the love vibration. I'll see you guys next time.